Former President Trump made some comments at the 2021 CPAC convention that has caused a stir in the news cycle.
Joe Biden and the Democrats are even pushing policies that would destroy women's sports. A lot of new records are being broken in women's sports. Hate to say that, ladies, but got a lot of new records. They're being shattered.
It's more than likely he said this to do what Trump does best, and that is make news. In fact, recent popular politicians on either side have not always been 100% for the LGBTQ community.
I believe that marriage is the union between a man and a woman.
The gay couples deserve the same legal rights as every other couple in this country.
Gay marriage?
I am not in favor of gay marriage.
Is marriage equality. Do you support marriage equality?
It's irrelevant because it was already settled. It's law. It was settled in the Supreme Court. I mean, it's done.
So even if you appoint a judge that...
It's done. You have, these cases have gone to the Supreme Court. They've been settled. And I think I'm fine with that.
And during the recent Trump administration, many on the left wagged their finger at President Trump for banning transgenders in the U.S. military. The military's reasoning was stated as needing troops to be fight-ready, like a Kalashnikov. No matter what you throw at it, it doesn't need anything besides itself. The argument in some circles elaborated that trans individuals need upkeep while deployed in the field to maintain their transitions for such things as hormones and dilation. Something the military doesn't deem necessary on the battlefield. But for the sake of the argument, that doesn't mean former military that have transitioned aren't 100% badasses, as this video where Ben Shapiro and a former Navy SEAL trans woman almost fought on stage.
So you don't know what you're talking about. You're not educated on genetics.
Would you actually like to discuss the genetics or no?
Well, no,
what
no.
are your genetics, sir?
So I'd stay away from the genetics and back to the brain scans.
You cut that out now, or you'll go home in an ambulance.
From adoptions to bathrooms, the new national conversation for the LGBTQ community is how far do we accept transitioning Americans into every part of their new gendered roles? Believe it or not, lots of science has been done on cisgender athletes, understanding the balance of hormones, degradation of testosterone, muscle and bone density levels necessary to deem competitions fair enough through pharmaceutical augmentation. But what should be the real approach to this topic as a country should be, instead of questioning how transitioning Americans expect to fit in roles they weren't born into, like they're trying to pull one over on Americans, the conversation should be how can we as a nation flex American exceptionalism in things like bioscience and progressive tolerance to help all Americans be seen as equal, regardless of what form the human soul wishes to take. As this conversation moves forward on how we can all be seen as equals, let's not let politicians continue to set the tone for it one election cycle at a time. Each party's pursuit to define the pace for woke arrogance will only choke what it means to be an American.
It's just a ride.